Covering Florida, an election integrity bill advanced today, and lawmakers say it'll keep the state's elections safe and secure. The House approved a bill strengthening the state's voter ID laws. It requires someone's immigration status to be verified when they register to vote, including immigration status on driver's licenses, and more fines for people who are living in Florida illegally and vote. Supporters say it's an effort to keep Florida's elections safe, but voting advocates say this bill goes too far.
Election integrity is so sacred. People like to use it as a punchline, but it's one of the most important responsibilities that we have as Americans. If you don't like what's happening in your government, then you go to vote.
It's actually multiple felonies if you were trying to do this, and so we know that the punishments are very harsh if somebody does try to violate that rule. That is not what this is about.
Then a version is also ready for a vote, but it doesn't have as many restrictions.